many reasons why knife cuts are important for a chef. The first and most obvious reason is because of presentation. A dish with perfectly julienne carrots or small diced potatoes will look better than if those ingredients were all different sizes. Secondly, and perhaps the most important, is because uniformity cut fruits and vegetables will cook evenly, ensuring efficiency and even texture. Before you begin your knife cuts, you're going to need to have a couple of things prepared. First, make sure you are using the correct knife for what you're doing. In most cases, your chef knife will be your go-to form of cutlery. However, there's a time and place for each knife in your toolkit. You will become familiar with the uses of each as you move through the program. Next, make sure that knife is sharpened and honed. One of the most dangerous things in a kitchen is a dull knife. Your knife should be sharpened and ready before each assignment so you can easily and safely complete it. Another important step is to properly set up your cutting board. To begin, wet a clean kitchen cloth, wring out the excess water, and place it along the edge of your counter. Next, take your cutting board and align it with your rag. You will notice when trying to move the cutting board, it is firmly in place. The damp rag acts as a glue, securing the cutting board, minimizing movement, and ensuring knife safety and accuracy. So today, we're going to make a couple of cuts. We're going to do a stick known as a bâtonnet, which is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 2.5 to 3 inches, and a small dice, which is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. So the first step in this process, using a potato, is to peel the potato. With the peeler that was provided with your knife kit, you're going to peel from end to end, all the way around the potato. Now, with this potato, I don't want a lot of waste. You'll see some eyes that are left in the potato. So there's a little scoop on the side. I'll just grab all of those eyes. And then I'm gonna go to the ends and take the remainder of the skin. Now with the skin, you can throw it in the trash or the compost. Although I cleaned my potato before I started this process, I'm still going to sanitize my cutting board because there may have been residual dirt left on that skin. Now that I have a peeled potato, I need to turn this into a block. So to get those sticks and cubes that we talked about, I'm gonna go from a block to a plank to a stick to a cube. Now this product is round and can roll. So the first step is to get an even edge straight up and down to prevent the product from rolling on me. I'm going to save the scrap for later use. So once I have a flat edge, I'm going to go around the potato and take off edges until I get a rectangular shape. Now you'll notice I'm using the proper grip. My knife is straight up and down, and my body is in a very natural state. So I'm going to take these ends off. That get me something much closer to a rectangle. Now, I do want 90-degree angles and straight edges on this product so that I can end up with a accurate and even plank, which turns into an accurate and even stick and a cube. So, starting on one edge, again, making sure my body position is right, my hand grip is right, and my opposing hand is in the claw. I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch in, top to bottom, straight up and down. I'll continue to make those cuts with planks through the potato. Now, I have 6 planks here. I'm gonna stack about 3 at a time because it's much more manageable that way. You'll notice that these are slick and will move around. So again, my claw hand in the right angle so that it can guide the knife. I'm going to go in a 1/4 inch. And make my cuts. So here I have something 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch and a little closer to 3 inches. And that's okay. As discussed before, it can be 2.5 to 3 inches. So I'm gonna set those aside. And I'm going to cut some more bâtonnet to turn into small dice. So small dice, 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. I'm going to take the sticks, 1/4 inch in, and cut my cubes for a nice, even, consistent cut. Be careful when moving product from your knife. You always want to make sure that your finger doesn't run along the cutting edge. Also remember, always save your scrap. With the potato, you're going to cover this in water so it doesn't oxidize and you can use it later. As you continue to practice these cuts with the sticks and cubes, you're going to notice a couple of things. A lot more consistency in your cuts, and you'll notice some hand dexterity starting to form. Once you get your hand dexterity, you can move on to some more advanced cuts like the oblique or the Python, or maybe even the tournée one day. Keep up the practice, keep up the great cuts.